So, hi guys, good evening. In today's class, we are going to see what is a variables and what are the data types that are available in Java. First, we will understand what is a variable. Sir, variable is used to store the data during the program execution. That means what, sir? I want to store the data. Okay, so during program execution, then we have to use what, sir? Variables here. For example, we will be having a purse. Inside purse, what we will be saving? We will be saving money, right? In the same way, I want to store the data. Then we should go for variables here. Okay. So when we are defining the variables, we have to specify what is the type of variable you want to store here. Okay. So the type of variable, okay, we will call it as what, sir? Data types here. So to declare a variable in Java, so we will be using this syntax. So what is a data type and what is the variable name here? Okay, so we will see like what are the different types of variables here. Till now, that means up to now, just remember variable is used to store the data here. Super. So what is the syntax, data type and variable name? So what are the different types of data types that are available in core Java? So that means in Java only. So we will be considering these data types into two categories. One is primitive type data types and second one is what, sir? Non-primitive type data types here. Okay. Sir, what is a meaning of this primitive type data types? Okay. Sir, I want to store number. Sir, I want to store point value. Sir, I want to store a single character. Sir, I want to store whether the condition is true or false. Okay. So for that, primitive data types are available. Sir, what are the different primitive data types? Number type, decimal type, character type, and next one is what's a Boolean type here. Okay. So next one is what's a reference types here. Reference type means what's a array, string, and class. Okay, so here class, string, and array. These are called as what's a reference type. Some people will be calling as what's a non-primitive data types also. Super. So what are the primitive data types? We will see. These primitive data types are divided into how many categories? 8 categories here. Okay. So what are the 8 categories? Let me tell you. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, character, and boolean. For this data types, okay, so we will be having some ranges. So byte holds 8 bits, okay, so minus 128 to plus 127, short 16, int 32, long 64, float 32, double 64, character 16, and boolean 1 here. Okay, so once a primitive data type has been declared, for example, if you declare a variable as a integer, so you have to store the only integer value. Okay, you can't able to change its type here. Okay. So first you will understand what is a numeric data types here. The first numeric data types are what's are byte, short, int, and long. Okay. The next one is what's are float data types, float and double. Next one is what? Character data type. Okay. So before starting this character data type, let me show you some examples on this numeric data types. Let me create a project. So new Java project. So YouTube examples. Next button. So next button and click on finish. Now let me create a class. Right click on src new class. So here something like com.app, something like data types. Example. Click on main method. So primitive data types are categorized into 8 types. First one here is what, sir? Numeric data type. Okay. Sir, I want to define a variable. Okay. If you want to define a variable, how to do, sir? Very simple. Data type. Okay. Data type and variable name. Let me define. I want to define a byte variable. So byte b. Okay. So byte b. Now we are getting some warning. Something like so local variable byte is never used. Okay. So never used. Okay. Let me write something like 10, and I want to use this variable. So sys out of b. Okay, now I am using this variable, so the warning has went off. Now this is the first numeric data type. That is what's a byte. Next one is what? Next one is short. Okay, how to define short? Short s equal to something like 25. So sys out of what, sir? Sys out of short. That means next one is what? Next one is int. So int a equal to 10. So sys out of what? Sys out of super. Next. What is the next one? Fourth one. Okay, long. Long L equal to something like some big number. Uh, Sir, when we are mentioning long, okay, we have to define here L. L. Out of L. Long data type. Okay. So these are called as what, sir? Numeric data types. Now let me run this application. Right click, run as Java application. So 10, 25, 10. This is a long value. Now what is the next data type we are having, sir? Floating data types. So that means what, sir? Decimal data types. Let me write here decimal data types. Cool. First, we will be having what's a float. So float f equal to 33.4. So 6 out of what's a, but it's telling something. Okay. So can't convert from float to double. Okay. So I can't convert. So let me write f. Okay. If you write f, then only the decimal value will be converted into float. Super. Now let me write double d equal to something like 34.1. This out of here d is required? No, not required. So this is called as what, sir? Decimal data types. What is the next one? The next one here is character data type. Okay. So first, what is this character data type? Character data type means what, sir? It is used to store only a single character. Sir, I want to store only a single character, then we have to use this character data type. For example, char c equal to something like yes. Okay, I want to store only single value. Then only we have to use what, sir? Char here. Super. And what is the next one, sir? What is the fourth data type? Fourth data type here is Boolean data type. Okay. Sir, Boolean data type is used to what, sir? It is used to tell whether the given condition is true or false. For example, Sai is passed in a subject. Okay. Is Sai passed in a subject? Okay, two options, true or false. Okay, so like that, I want to store true or false, then we have to use what, sir? Boolean data type here. So Boolean data type will occupy how many bytes of memory? Only 1 byte of memory. Okay, that means only 1 bit. Nothing but 1 byte of memory. What is the default value of Boolean? Boolean is false. Okay, let me write here Boolean data type. So Boolean is exist. Okay, so is exist equal to this out of is X. So like that. So 5, 6, 7. This one is what, sir? 8. These are called as what, sir? Primitive data types. Okay, so primitive data types. Now we will understand what is a non-primitive data types. Okay, so before discussing non-primitive data types, let me tell you how to declare a variable. So if you want to declare a variable, data type, variable name here. Okay. Okay, sir, we know these things here. But what is my second target? My second target here is, sir, I want to store the data. Okay, if you want to store the data into variable, then you have to perform two options, sir. One is declaring a variable, and next one is what, sir? Initializing a variable. For example, if you write like this, okay, so byte b, that means what, sir? You have initialized the variable, okay, so you didn't provide the data. No, sir. I have wrote byte b equal to 10. That means what, sir? You have declared a variable here. Okay, so initializing a variable and declaring a variable here. Super. So what is the identifiers in Java? So this identifiers in Java we will be discussing in next video, guys. Okay. So thank you. Have a great day.